the last sort of form of dilution is not quantitative, but it's still very useful, and actually, in certain contexts, it's all you need. Let's just think that we've got a mixture of cells, so if we don't care about the absolute density in the mixture, but we only care about the proportion, then we only need to get some single colonies out, and then we can use that to determine the proportion of the frequency of the two types. So I'm going to show you the simplest way to do that, which is used a lot in microbiology. It's just streaking. Oh, this is a good opportunity to have a really off-ball conversation about why some people call it striking and some people call it streaking.
Who calls it striking? I've never heard that.
But you say you struck it out, right?
Oh, yeah,
struck
I do
is
say
the
struck.
past participle of strike, not streak. Streak
Well,
is definitely
maybe
streaked.
in microbiology, struck is the past participle of streak. Just make a new verb.
Anyway, so let's label this, and what should I
guess-
say to label it? It's YPD. Oh, I'm A.
It is like striking a match in a way, like similar action.
It is, I think, and that's why I think it gets mixed up. Some people do say striking the cells, and then therefore it's struck, and some people say streaking the cells, and therefore it's streaked. But when they get noddled up, then I'm just like, what? Okay, it's good. This is good. Let's think of some more themes. Right, YPD. I'm A, and streak. Good, so we don't need any beads because we're going to use sterile sticks. Again, these come in different forms, but the ones we've got in the lab here, this is a completely sterile sealed bag of them. I'm going to have to work out how to open it in a minute. I might as well just do that now. Let's see if it can peel it. Yes,
I think you can.
peeling works well, which is good. Right, so the end that you use
Yeah.
is the end with a loop on. The other end's where you hold it. So we want to open it at the right end, and we're going to try to keep the contents sterile. So I don't want to sort of stick my hand in there and introduce lots of outside bugs. So I don't usually use these, so I'm going to try this. It could fail terribly. I'm just going to try and tap some down so that some of them stick out like that, and then I can grab one without contaminating the rest of the bag. I'm going to put them on the edge of the bench like that. Right, before I do that, I'm going to resuspend my cells. Now, this isn't quantitative dilution, so perhaps it doesn't matter too much, but I think it's going to work better if they're suspended in the liquid. Right, carefully extract what do you call these? Loops, inoculating loops maybe. Stick it in there. Right, it's now got lots of cell suspension on. Now, again, there's lots of ways.
I don't know if we'll be able to see on the video. It's not very clear.
There's
Anyway.
lots of ways to do this, and with practice, you'll probably find your own way. The way I've described in the protocol and the way I'm going to show you is perhaps the most reliable, but it doesn't necessarily give you the largest number of single colonies. So again, we're going to do a dilution, but it's a kind of non-quantitative sort of dilution. So first of all, on the surface of the plate, I'm dividing mentally the plate into quarters, and I'm going to make sure I stick to the quarters. I'm going to just fill a quarter with a streak like that. So there'll be more cells at the top of that streak than at the bottom. All right, I'm going to put that down, throw this in here, and get another one. Right, now I'm going to try and pick up cells from the end of that streak and then re-streak them into the next quarter. So I'll start there and pick up a few like that and then move away. And again, they're going to dilute those cells down, so there'll be fewer at the end than there were at the beginning. Now the loop does leave an impression on the surface of the plate, so you can see where you've been, so that's really helpful. So that way. Okay, so that was my first one, that's my second one. So I'm going to start at the end of that streak and then streak away from it. So I dilute the cells down. and throw that away. And the final one, use that last quarter of the plate. Pick up the cells at the end of the streak and fill the plate. So this isn't the way I would normally streak, but I think it's the most reliable, isn't it? Because we're doing four dilutions. So yeah, if you really had no idea how many cells there were, this would be probably be pretty effective for almost any cell culture. Throw that away.
Can we just do a close-up of the plate? It's hard for us to see in the
Yes.
video the
Where I went, okay. So you
Yeah.
can probably, if you get the angle right, you can probably see
Oh,
the
yeah, here.
impression.
So if you look in the part where the light is reflecting, you can see Duncan's streaking. Unfortunately, we can't see the whole plate at once. It's a bit easier when you personally are holding the plate to see this.
Okay, so I'll put my. Okay, we've now finished this first experiment. So I'm going to put these, remembering to have them with the meter at the top. I'm going to put these in the incubator. It's a 30-degree incubator. It's over here. If you have a big stack of plates, especially if it's a crowded incubator with lots of people's shared plates, obviously it's not, it would be a good idea to wrap these in tape, because then when people are shifting them around, they can knock them over. If they're wrapped in tape, it keeps them safe and makes them easier to identify. But you don't have that problem, so. All right, that'll do for this one.